Welcome to Theory Inquisitive Kids. In this video, we'll be solving a logic problem that requires you to think about whether sentences are true or false. This is one of my favorite types of problems because many times you can be like a detective and try to figure out the solution. For you to be able to fully grasp how to solve this problem, you're probably going to have to pause the video multiple times to kind of think through it yourself. So I encourage you to pause and try to understand these four statements first. Great, now let's go through it together. The first statement is, today is Sunday if I tell the truth tomorrow. So this statement is depending on day 2, the tomorrow. And the second statement says, I lie on Wednesdays and Sundays. Okay, this is very direct. It can be all true or all false. 3, yesterday I lied. Well, this you got to think about, because if day 3 is false, that means day 2 is true. If day 3 is true, then day 2 was false. So day 2 and day 3 are connected in this way. And then for day 4, I will tell the truth exactly once in the next 3 days. So we have 7 days in a week, right? Here we have 4 statements. So we can have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4. And then there will be days 5, 6, and 7. So what day 4 is saying is that out of the days 5, 6, and 7, there will be 1 day of truth. Now, if we think about it, if day 4 is true, then there will be 1 truth somewhere in these 3 days. But if day 4 is false, then there will be multiple or 0 truths in these 3 days. There is a lot of moving parts going on right now. What is a good way to approach this problem? Well, let's consider statement 2. Because if we consider statement 2 first, it will restrict statement 1 and statement 3 as well, because statement 2 is connected to statement 1 and 3. So our approach will be to consider statement 2. The first case is that 2 is true, and case 2 is that statement 2 is false. If statement 2 is true, then the first thing we know is that statement 3 is false. Additionally, what can we say about statement 1? Well, then statement 1 is Sunday. Statement 1 is Sunday. However, statement 2 itself says that Wednesdays and Sundays are lies, which means day 1 is a lie. So statement 1 is Sunday and false. Now we know that statement 3, statement 1 are both false. All we have to do now is determine statement 4. So from here we have 2 subcases. The first case is that statement 4 is true. Our second case, case B, is that statement 4 is false. Let's draw a line here for clarity. Let's draw what we know for case 1 right now. For all of case 1, we know that day 2 is true. Day 3 is false. Day 1 is false. And day 1 is Sunday. This locks all the other days into place. We have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So day 4 is a Wednesday. And statement 2 tells us that on Wednesdays, we lie. But then let's think about days 5, 6, and 7. Out of these 7 days, we need to have 2 true days in total out of these 7 days. What day 4 is saying that we need 1 truth in 5, 6, or 7. But because we're saying day 4, it must be false. But this is a contradiction. Then let's suppose case A, where day 4 where statement 4 is true. But then this contradicts again, because if statement 4 is true, then we are directly contradicting what statement 2 says. Statement 2 says Wednesdays must be false. As you can see from both of our subcases, in case 1, we have invalid scenarios, and then it all leads to contradiction. So we're going to have to look further in case 2. Now let's move on to deeper analyze case 2, where we say that statement 2 is false. If statement 2 is false, then right away we know that statement 3 is true. Then what about statement 1? Well, day 2 is a lie, and day 1 says, today is Sunday if I tell the truth on day 2. But day 2 is a lie. So this makes day 1 vacuously true. If you don't know what vacuously true means, I will explain it now. This is kind of a side thing, but vacuously true means that if you have an if-then statement, if I get 100% on my quiz, then I'll buy ice cream. This is a if-then statement. So what a vacuously true statement is that this would be a lie if I do get 100% on my quiz and then I don't buy ice cream. This would be true if I did indeed get 100% and then I bought my ice cream as I promised I would, or if I never got 100%. So this is saying that if I never got 100% on my quiz in the first place, then this statement is automatically true. It never got tested. So this is what vacuously true means. Now we have day 1 and day 3 both being true. And because out of the 7 days of the week, we only have 2 true days in total, day 1 and day 3 are our only true days. So day 1 is true, day 2 is false, day 3 is true, the rest are false. Now that we have day 1, day 2, and day 3 settled, let's check day 4 and statement 4. Day 4, statement 4, according to what we have so far, must be false. And it indeed is false, so that matches up, and we are good. Now we have to determine what days of the week each day corresponds to. And remember, there can be multiple solutions. Our goal is to try to determine which days of the week are our true days. So I'm highlighting in green our true days. We want to determine which days of the week are they. Well, we also need to make sure that statement 2 is false. Statement 2 is false. So in order for statement 2 to be false, we have to have one of the truth days to lie on Wednesday or Sunday. So there are 4 cases. Let's split this up into 4 cases. The first case is that day 1 is Wednesday. The second case is that day 1 is Sunday. And then a third case is that day 3, which is the other truth day, is on Wednesday. Or day 3 can be on Sunday. So we have these 4 possibilities. If we have day 1 Wednesday, let's write out the days. There are 7 in total. We have Wed, Thurs, Fry, Sat, Sun, Mon, and Tuesday. And you can pause the video and write out this chart for all 3 of the other possibilities as well. We're going to highlight that in green. The next scenario is that day 1 is a Sunday. And day 1 and day 3 are true days. For our third scenario, we have day 3 being Wednesday. So day 1 is Monday, and we go from there. You can highlight the true days, which are day 1 and day 3. Now let's do our final case. Day 3 is Sunday. So day 1 is Friday and day 3 is Sunday. And this is our solution. There are 4 solutions in total. The first solution is that the truth days are on Wednesday and Friday, and day 1 is made on a Wednesday. The second solution is that the truth days are on Sunday and Tuesday, and statement 1 is made on a Sunday. The third solution is that day 1 is a Monday, and days 1 and 3 are the truth days. The fourth solution is that day 1 was a Friday, and the truth days were days 1 and 3, which are Friday and Sunday. I hope you learned something from this video, especially about the information of what vacuously true means, because that was one of our more important breaking points. We needed to understand that if the condition for a statement was never tested, then that statement is automatically true. In other words, it is vacuously true. Another important key point that you should take away from this video is that we started off by finding which statement to focus on, which statement to pinpoint ourselves on. For this problem, we chose day 2, or statement 2, because we used the day 2 to give ourselves 2 major cases, and we went from there. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.